of champions. We begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord, our creator, our sustainer, our cherisher, and we send upon the master of mankind endless salutations, greetings. He is, of course, Muhammad al-Mustafa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidi Mursaleen wa Khatam al-Nabiyyin Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Oh yes, my brothers, my sisters, my respected elders and my lovely, lovely youngsters. It is the 29th of Ramadan, the 30th of April, the final weekend, the final Saturday of this blessed month, and the excitement is palpable. Yes, you can feel it. Eid is around the corner. And the breaking news, as if you didn't know, is that inshallah al-Aziz, we will be completing 30 fasts for this month of Ramadan, and that Eid will be on Monday, the 2nd of May. So you still got one more day, you still got one more Taraweeh, and we've still got some more time to ask for blessings, barakah, forgiveness, and everything that is good from our Almighty Lord, Allah Azza wa Jal. All right, folks, this is a bonus drive time, so don't say I do not treat you, yeah? Not only do I give you Monday to Friday, but I'm giving you Saturday as well, a little bonus, because you know what the lovely folks at Ramadan FM said, Irfhan, can you come in? I said, you know what, for you, Akil, anything, my brother. And he's smiling away. He's tapping away on his little keyboard, and he's smiling, and he's looking good, and he's had a fresh haircut for Eid, and he's, oh yes. But I still do not have my pastel de nata. Where is my pastel de nata, brother? Hey, pastel de nata. I need
Inshallah,
it.
after Ramzan.
After Ramzan, no good. Everyone forget me after Ramzan, brother. Habibi. Please, Habibi. Okay, right. Listen, folks. We got a special guest who is on his way right now. I've got Dr. Rizwhan Suleman joining me shortly. He's just finishing up a clinic, and he'll be here in 5 minutes or so, inshallah, traffic permitting. And you know what? Oh, there was a buzz around the city today. Went to do some shopping and picked up a jubba. Thank you, Arzina, for buying me a jubba. So going to be looking fresh when it comes to Eid Salah that day. But while we're waiting for brother Dr. Rizwhan, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has tuned in this year. The love that I've received has been immense. Jazakumullah khair. Honestly, folks, without you listeners, this radio station is nothing. So please continue to spread the good word. Share the links with all of your friends beyond Leicester, and keep supporting Ramadan FM in whatever shape or form we do the radio. Please make sure you tune in and listen, because we love doing what we do, and we love you guys, and without your support and listenership, it means nothing. Remember, everyone here is doing it on a voluntary basis, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward their actions and their efforts and everything they've done. But I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of my guests right now. And we've had some tremendous contributors this year on Ramadan FM. So I want to say a big thank you to Azhar Khan, the energy man. Our big thank you to Muhammad Kolia, the mental health in Islam guest. Dr. Zobia Islam, my G from Loros. We had Sister Batul Al-Toma, which was incredible. She was just brilliant. Loved that. Who came from the Muslim Convert Foundation. And then we had the Green Guardians, Amina Patel and Habiba Lunat. And then we had the Right On sisters with Sister Susan, Mariam, Saira and Arifa. Then we had the man himself, Tahir Hajats, spitting some bars here with me on Ramadan FM, talking about his sports presenting and hosting and all that is good with his project work and the Mighty Creatives. We then had Hafiz Mushtaq Dakri and a brother in the studio talking about drug addiction and substance addiction, and that was really powerful. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to that, I highly recommend that you go back and listen, because there was a lot of useful advice and information and guidance given in that talk. So please, if you are suffering with something like that, or you've got somebody close to you, a loved one that needs help and support, please check out the Spinney Hill Drug and Addiction Support Group. Okay, after them, we had Sister Aisha Sidat talking about disability, and that, I have to say, was probably my favorite interview. That was the highlight of all the guests. I mean, everyone was incredible, but Sister Aisha, the way she spoke about her condition, the way she spoke about living with a rare condition, mucopolysaccharide. I still remember it, but that was brilliant. So that was very enlightening, very uplifting, and she was so positive, an absolute force of nature. So inshallah, looking to get Sister Aisha back on the radio at some point next year, inshallah. Then we had the big one, Sister Zara Muhammad, the Muslim Council of Britain's youngest ever and first female General Secretary. Following Zara, we had Sister Maryam Allison. She was brilliant, a young, feisty Muslim police officer at the age of 20. She was doing absolute bits. And then yesterday we had CFA with Ahmed Moravia and Imran Govaria. And today we got Dr. Rizwhan Suleman. So incredible diverse lineup of guests. I got a few texts saying, "Whoa, Irfhan, where did you get these guests from?" So big shout out to Sister Sabiha for her production skills and lining up these big men and big women. Could not have done it without her support and daily kind of conversations around, oh my God, this guest is not turning up. What are we going to do? We need to fill this slot. So it was really exciting. And I was like, Sister Sabiha, chill. We've got this. We know what we're doing. So Akil is smiling, but it was a great experience. And, we look back at it with a lot of love and affection. The month, it can get a bit sort of fraught and stressful, but that's radio for you. Any kind of environment where you're working to a tight time schedule is a bit stressful. But alhamdulillah, I've enjoyed it. You know what, folks? I am tired, so I am looking forward to a bit of downtime over Eid. But get in touch with me today, yeah? I want to hear from you guys. Let me get the numbers. 077 488 55055. Drop me a text. Let me know what you think of the programs. Let me know how the Ramadan is going. And we're going to do a special program straight after drive time. We're going to have a farewell show, inshallah. So I'm hoping that some of my fellow presenters are going to either join me in the studio or phone up to share their reflections, their experiences, their highlights of this glorious month. But so really excited. It is the last one, and already getting texts from my brother Nash. Uncle is sending blessings and salams, and I'm sending blessings and salams to him as well. My little Yahya, my little nephew Yahya, he's tuning in with his uncle right now. He's loving it. Sister Nazira Vania, she's loving it as well. Thumbs up bonus. And all that good stuff. So really, honestly, when I get these text messages, it gives me a boost. It gives me a real boost, and I love that. But listen, folks, youngsters, right? I know you're shopping and you're getting your fresh haircuts and your fresh crepes, and man's are gonna come with a swag on Eid Day, them way there, cuz you get me, fam. Yeah, man's on that thing right now, bro. Man's gonna pray that 2 rakat wajib, on the Eid flex. So anyway, if you are at home right now, and I know the sisters are probably on that baking thing right now. My wife has gone into baking overdrive. The kitchen is just full of flour and butter and sugar and all these good things. But listen, youngsters, I know I always say this, but take a moment. Whatever you're doing, go over to your mom and give her a big hug and say, "Mom, I love you." Say, "Mom, thank you so much. Mom, I pray to Allah that He gives you the highest rank in Jannah because you're my mom, because you do everything for me." Yeah, just say, "Mom, I love you," and hug her. Put your cheek against her cheek and feel how warm and soft that is, and how comforting and how lovely that is. Yes, and remember that whatever we do for our mothers in this lifetime is not equivalent to a single labor pain that your mother goes through when she gives birth to you. So please, my brothers and sisters, always treat your parents, but especially your mother, with the utmost respect. Do not raise your voice to her. Do not raise your eyebrows to her. Just have the humility, respect. Whatever she asks you to do, just say, "Yes, Mom, I'm going to do that for you." And always tell your mom, "I love you." Yeah? Is that a deal? Okay, because moms, you're the real heroes, okay? You are the real heroes. Whether it's Ramadan, whether it's not Ramadan, you've got our backs, yeah? You're always there supporting us. Never, unconditional love. So I want to give a big shout out to all the mothers. The mothers, mashallah, you are incredible. You are a gift from Allah. And quite rightly, your rank and elevation is only after Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, so that's it. So we're still waiting for Dr. Rizwhan. I know he's on his way. Listen, he's on that Asian timing, Akil, so don't worry. He's probably, just cracking a few backs, doing a few hijamas right now, and he'll be here with me, so don't worry. He called me this morning, said, "Irfhan, are we doing the show today?" I said, "Yes, we are." So his timing is he's fashionably late. What can I say? But we got some young brothers in the studio as well, man. Big shout out to my man over there. Yes, man, talking about Africa and all that good stuff. Don't worry, Sabi. He's going to be here. He's going to be here. It's fine. It's cool. Let's give him another 5 minutes and then we can start panicking. Yeah. But until then, so yeah, I just want to say a big shout out to everyone, right? Bumped into my brother from another mother, Hasib Khan, as I was out on the roads today doing my roadman thing. So yeah, man, big shout out to Khan Saab. You know, whenever you bump into a Khan Saab, they say it's a blessing. So Hasib, I feel blessed after bumping into you and your lovely family. So it was really good to see you and your smiling face. And Alhamdulillah, I hope you're having a good last weekend of Ramadan, my brother, and looking forward to spending some time with you after the blessed month has passed. Okay, so the big news is that Eid will be on Monday, inshallah, and hopefully, as a city, as a country, as a community, as a nation, we can celebrate Eid on Monday all together, which will be incredible. And I'm feeling good because I lost a bit of weight. My wife said to me, "Oh, your tummy's gone in." I said, "Yes, it has gone in." So I love that. I love the fact that the waistline has slightly shrunk and I can actually fit into some clothes that do not have an elasticated waistband anymore. So I'm feeling pretty good with that one. Right. So get in touch with me. It is 077 488 55055, or you can text me directly if you have my number. Will be good to hear what your Eid plans are and what your memories and highlights of Ramadan Radio 2022 have been. Remember, you can check us out on LinkedIn, on TuneIn, on Twitter, on Spotify, on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. If you haven't been able to listen to all of the shows have been posted up on the Ramadan FM YouTube channel. So you can listen to them anytime, anywhere. Just to subscribe and like the channel. And tell us what you think in the comment section as well of the programs. We've had some brilliant programs and really amazing guests. I mean, like I said, so many highlights. The Islam and mental health one, that was a big thing. A lot of people got in touch after that saying they loved that. So remember, get in touch with Muhammad Kolia if you want to learn more about how Islam pioneered the treatment and recognition of mental health conditions. And Batul Al-Toma, I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters out there who are doing their first Ramadan. I got a video yesterday from our brother Hamza, of another young brother embracing Islam. Very powerful thing to see. So uplifting when you see somebody accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only God worthy of worship, and that Muhammad Mustafa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his final and complete messenger. Brilliant stuff. So I'm waiting for Dr. Rizwhan. Guys, get in touch with me while I'm waiting. Let's have a little chat and we'll talk about, inshallah, we're hoping to talk about a healthy mindset. So now that Ramadan is coming to an end, what do we need to do to keep that healthy mindset? So remember, we are nourishing our souls, we are nourishing our spirits, and we are nourishing our bank accounts for the hereafter. The credits are going up. Yeah, forget about crypto, forget about your stocks and shares. This is the only account that's going to come for you and be of any use, inshallah, on the Day of Judgment. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings you up and you look into your account and you've got all those credits there, it's going to be a good day, inshallah. And I hope, and my dua is, that we are there in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Habibullah, and we will drink from his blessed hands from the fountain of Kawthar, inshallah. Ameen. Guys, don't tell me you're going to sleep out there. Yeah, I'm here, trying to keep you company, energized, all that good stuff. And nothing else. I'm getting text here from Muhammad Fahim. Assalamu alaikum. Islamic Relief need a few drivers in Leicester to deliver some cakes. I don't know what that's all about. So if you're at a loose end right now and you can drive, then get in touch with Muhammad Fahim and just see if you can help out there. So they need some drivers to deliver some cakes before iftar, inshallah. It's been a busy Ramadan for me. It's been really, Sister Sabia smiling at me. She's laughing. She's thinking, oh my God, this guy's running out of rope now. He doesn't know what he's going to talk about. You know what? Let's do this. So it's been a busy Ramadan. I've had the pleasure of going to Lisbon in Portugal. I spent 2 nights out there. And you know what as well? I still didn't get any pastel de nata when I was out there. I went to the local supermarket near to my hotel thinking I want to have some pastel de nata for Sehri. And nothing, all sold out. So I don't know what it is with this Portuguese mafia going on. They're sort of hiding the pastel de nata, and Akil's just sitting there, not even thinking. You know what? He's sleeping. He's gone to sleep. He has gone to. You know what? He works hard. So I'm gonna let him off. But we got another young brother on the decks right now. So he's on the decks on production duty, and he's giving the thumbs up. I hope I'm sounding good, brother. I've forgotten your name. What's your name again, brother? Dujahan. Dujanan. Yeah. Okay, all right. Apologies, brother, if I've got it incorrect, but that's a sick name. Still, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's good to engage with youngsters. I feel really youthful around them because I'm getting old now, but my mind is still, those who know me will say you're just a big kid. But engaging with the youngsters these days, they seem to be so switched on, mashallah. They're very aware of what's going on, not just locally or politically. They've got some really good ideas and, more power to them. So I say to them, whatever you want to do, go out there and do it. Just do it. And we've seen that with the guests that we had, the Ride On Sisters, the Green Guardians, all that good stuff. People are doing so much good work out there. And alhamdulillah, we as a community should be proud. Yeah, let's bring him in for a second. Is he here? Is my guest here now? Let the brother come in. Let's have a little chat with him. But no, mashallah, so many of our Muslim brothers and sisters are doing great work. And inshallah, it is a sunnah as well to be enterprising, to do your own business. So if you are thinking of starting up a venture or you've got an idea that could be the next Snapchat or TikTok or Twitter or whatever it is, and Elon Musk is going to buy you for 50 billion, then why not? So assalamu alaikum, brother. Get your headphones on and let's have a little conversation. Yeah, bro, just come slightly closer to the mic so we can hear you. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you? Right, tell the listeners your name and what your flex is.
So my name is Dejana.
Dejana, yeah? Okay.
Yes, I don't really have any flexes, to be fair.
Yeah, but what are you working on right now?
Working on a variety of different things.
Is that mic on? Just check. Try it on. Just keep speaking, Dejana.
So yeah, I'm working on a variety of different things with Teams Charity. Together we're going to achieve more success.
MashaAllah.
Whilst doing university as well.
Studying.
Student.
What year?
Well, it's my third and final year, so I'm supposed.
Stress is on, bro.
Yeah, it's alright.
How you feeling, coming into your final few weeks now?
Actually, right now I'm on placement.
Where
While I managed to set up my 2 different businesses. So that's what my placement is.
Okay.
And hopefully going back to uni next year to finish it off.
Okay, so inshallah, can you tell us a bit more about your business ideas?
So I don't know if you guys have heard about Lane 7. Lane 7 is a bowling alley.
Yeah.
So I've got falafel shop in there.
Okay.
Shawarma, falafel, etc. And then I've got gym clothing line, Triple G, Gorillas Go Gym. So yeah, check that out on Instagram, please. And at the moment, we're doing some imports, export, and as well as some charity work in Africa, as you mentioned. I just came back from Kenya.
Shout out all my Swahilis.
Come on, Jambo. So yeah, I went to 8 different countries. It was a pleasure.
And how old are you, Dejana?
23.
23. So already at a young age, you are developing your global outlook, yes?
Alhamdulillah, Allah has given me the blessing and the opportunity to do so. So I just thank Him for it, to be fair.
MashaAllah. And may Allah accept everything that you do and may Allah make you a resounding success.
Ameen,
we need youngsters like you kind of just trailblazing and using something to do good in this world.
And we need people like you helping and guiding us through the path.
Bruh, man, man's old now, you know what I mean? Man's old. Man's old.
You look young to me.
You know what? You're too kind. You're too kind, mashallah. Yeah, so I don't think my 50-year-old son would agree with you. But no, that's really good. So how long has the business been going?
Which one?
The clothing one.
So the clothing one, I actually started it off in about 2018. So the way it went about, me and my friend, we used to go to the gym together. So I used to call him a white rhino. And then he turned around and called me a gorilla. So one day I was just in my bed thinking, he's always calling me a gorilla. So it's Gorillas Go Gym, Gorillas Gang. And then just came up with that. Got the intellectual property for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the most popular lines in the clothing thing?
So guerrilla warfare. So one of our mottos that, you know what guerrilla warfare is, right? Is when rebels go into the jungle and fight for a reason.
Yeah.
So the gym is our jungle, and we're the guerrillas, we're the rebels.
That's it.
Trying to fight our demons.
MashaAllah. Brilliant. Right, I want to introduce our guest. Better late than never, as I say. It is the one, the only Dr. Rizwhan Suleman. Can you put your headphones on, please, Dr. Saab? and we can get you live on Ramadan FM. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
You've just come fresh from the clinic, yes?
That's it, man. I had to run in and stop you just being healthy all on your own in the health hour.
Okay, Riz, come a bit closer to the mic, brother, so we can hear, all the listeners can hear you properly. Try this one here. Come on to this mic here. So listen, Jazakumullah khair for joining us. It has been a madness, a busy one for you, but delighted to see your smiling face, Habibi, as always.
Alhamdulillah. No, awesome to be here. Jazakallah khair for inviting me.
So this is something we've been trying to schedule all of Ramadan, but alhamdulillah, you got in on the last one, so we saved the best to last, inshallah. So for our listeners, you are a chiropractor by trade, but you're also a hijama practitioner, and I would say probably one of the leading experts when it comes to cupping therapy and the benefits of cupping in terms of how we use it in our day-to-day lives, but looking at it from a prophetic tradition as well. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I would say is that when we say hijama and the different techniques, I think these are all just tools. In terms of kind of how I define myself, I would say I'm kind of a doctor that practices integrative medicine. Integrative medicine just basically means, we do whatever it is that's required to help you, get better and live a healthy life. And in many people's cases, that means changing your life because, the majority of people's illnesses and the deficiencies they have in their health, mentally, physically, spiritually, in every aspect, is to do with your daily habits, your routines, your lifestyle. So, you could call it lifestyle medicine.
Lifestyle, I like that. So it's looking at every aspect of your lifestyle that impacts upon your health and quite holistic in that approach then. So in terms of, patients coming to see you, you do a consultation to see, where they need treatment physically, first of all, and then you'd start imparting guidance and knowledge.
It's quite the other way around. So
okay.
What we do is we start off from a very outside view, trying to understand who this person is, what's their environment, who do they live with? Sometimes people, raise their eyebrows. Oh, why are you asking me that for? Especially if in the Asian community, they think, oh, do you know one of my aunties or something?
Interrogation.
Yeah. So sometimes people are a little bit taken aback by our approach. But really, in order to resolve an issue, you really need to understand the problem. You need to understand, all
the root cause.
The root cause, exactly. So, in many cases, when someone presents with an issue or an illness, it isn't as a result of one thing. It's not, you ate one samosa and now you're diabetic. It's a series of activities. It's a series of even attitudes and beliefs.
Accumulative, isn't it?
Accumulative, 100%. And it's multifactorial. And this is why one of the reasons, behind what we do is really working on people's core beliefs and their values. What's your understanding in relation to your health? And this is where, I believe, sometimes people say, okay, are you practicing Islamic medicine? What you're doing is, is from the Sunnah. Is that you're using Sunnah techniques and things like that? And what I like to help people understand is that we're working with lifestyle medicine. And what is the what is the best form of medicine other than the lifestyle of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So, whether I was, if I was a non-Muslim and I had researched and understood the things that I have, I should and I would have come to the same conclusion as to what we're doing right now. And you see many specialists in the fields today, non-Muslims talking about intermittent fasting,
yes,
talking about, your having a positive mindset, talking about, regular intervals of movement and activity. And so, well, how does 5 times Salah sit with that? So if you think of it, when it comes to lifestyle medicine, there's no differentiation between, living a life according to the manual script, the prescription that was given from our Creator, as to how we should live our lives. We don't need to go to see, realistically, if people were practicing what we truly would, should be doing, then very few people would need to come and see people like myself.
I think a lot of it is probably making small adjustments. So looking at how much we eat, when we eat, what we eat, and tying that into a proper sensible routine. Is that would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes, we are taken aback by so many different, this diet, that diet, this diet. We look at the Prophet ﷺ gave a very simple prescription. 1/3 air, 1/3 water, 1/3 food. Which means proportionately you should be, people ask, oh, is it good to drink? How much water should we drink? Should we do this? Should we do that? We've got all of the answers within our deen, and this is the foundational thing. And this is when, alhamdulillah, when I graduated, I was very fortunate enough to be, I was closer to my deen, than when I was younger. So I transitioned to become more of a practicing Muslim, as you described. And at that time, every time I looked at some recommendations, or every time I was taught something, I was looking at it through the lens of, well, how does this sit with what the Prophet ﷺ would say, or what our deen teaches, or what is within our traditions. And when things aligned with that, I would be pulled towards that. And when things didn't align with that, when people were saying, because in the field of health, they say all sorts of things, they say some things which are completely ridiculous. And they call this science, and they say this is what the leading experts recommend. But the leading experts have been wrong for years and years, for many years. There's always, we found out that we were wrong all along. But one of the things when it comes to, especially when you're talking about lifestyle medicine, is, as Muslims, we know that, there's only one thing which is void of error, and that is, alhamdulillah, the Quran al-Kareem, and this is, the blessed month of Ramadan to be talking about it.
MashaAllah, brilliant. So a couple of things I wanted to ask you, and if you could share with our listeners the mechanics of hijama. So why it's been prescribed. So it's a very specific technique with hijama as a therapy. And what does it actually do to the body? So what is the body undergoing? Because I think people, it's all well and said, yeah, it's a sunnah, great. But I don't think a lot of people understand about the actual, what it does to the body, how the body responds, reacts, and repairs itself as a result of undergoing cupping.
So to be honest, I can talk to you for hours and hours. I can say, okay, well, there's the mechanical theory, there's the theory that works on the humoral elements of it, there's the effects that it has on inflammation, there's the heavy metal toxicity which it removes from your system, there's the neurological effect and how it affects your nervous system. I could talk to you in terms of blue in the face, describing the different causes and effects and everything else. But to be honest, it doesn't mean anything. None of that means anything until you put it into the context. If I say to you, okay, well, what does a drill do? What does a spanner do? Okay, what does a spade do? You're going to look at me and say, well, it all depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So if I look at, if I'm, and alhamdulillah, we teach, obviously, we as you know, we have an institute, we teach, we have Muslims, non-Muslims that come to us and they learn these techniques from us and they go away. And, what I'm very focused on, I'm very kind of adamant about, is that I don't want to teach you just techniques, because techniques are empty. As we believe, innal a'mal binniyat, every action is based on intention. So first of all, we need to clarify, what is your intention with a patient? When you're working with someone and you want to help them and you want to physically benefit their health, and you understand that, you start off with that intention. Then again, once you have that, okay, well, this is my niyyah is to do this, you need to understand the situation. Right? So you need to understand their situation. What is deficient with this individual, and what tools do I have to help them? Then you start realizing, okay, with this particular patient, what we need to try and help relax their nervous system. We need to calm them down. Now we use the tools in a different way. You're working with someone who's just come out of a surgery, and you say, okay, well, we have a whole load of inflammation there. There's not a lot of movement going on, so we need to use it in this way. And the techniques and the tools are very, very adaptive. So, depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can use them in a very different way. As a chiropractor, you must have seen the videos where people get their necks cracked and backs cracked and all of these other things. But, we see, you can see a 3-week-old baby, and the techniques are adapted and the situation is adapted to based on what you're trying to do. So, to answer that question, like I said, I don't want to bore you.
But just give us a flavor of how hijama can help. Let's say if someone's got lower back pain.
Okay, so someone has lower back pain. Again, let's say they have an inflammation in their back as a result of the issue they've got. Maybe there's a lot of muscle spasm. There's different techniques. There's different types of hijama. You can use techniques using dry cupping. Again, we don't use, and this is why I always make very clear that I generally don't refer to myself as a hijama practitioner. We don't refer to ourselves as being a hijama clinic, because we don't limit ourselves to that. We're here to help people's
much more
improve,
than that, yeah.
And we need to do whatever it is that requires that outcome. So, hijama can be used in that context. We can use it to help reduce inflammation. We can use it to help relax muscle. We can use it to help elongate tissues which are contracted and tight. We can use it to calm the nervous system and reduce that down. Again, there's many, many different kind of ways in which it can be applied and have effect.
Okay, brilliant.
I didn't know I was live.
You're live on YouTube right now, yeah, mashallah. So
I would have combed my beard. And
you look just fine, brother. I mean that's fantastic, and I think so you mentioned non-Muslims come there. Are you seeing an increase in non-Muslims looking towards this type of medicine?
Look, I'll say something which is maybe a little bit, no, I wouldn't say controversial, but it's a little bit kind of sad, but it's good as well at the same time, right? So, we've been operating since 2008. I've been coming to Leicester, we've been running the clinics here since then. So it's a long time. Back then, if you search, if you typed in hijama in Google, it would say, did you mean pajama?
Yeah.
Right? That's the level we were at, right? So, I can remember doing, where was it? There was an event, I can't remember what it was actually, where, it was like almost like a mela type of event, right? We did a stall, we were handing out leaflets, we were like, come and get your hijama, learn about this, practice this amazing sunnah. And no one wanted to know.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough, actually, I had a sheikh who's a very good friend of mine, and he came to us, he said, I remember you when you were at that stall and you handed out that leaflet and you were doing this demonstration, you were showing people, and he said, I remember you doing that all the way back then. And he said, look, mashallah, you've got this big clinic now and you've got all this, come a long way. And, he reminded me of that, and I thought to myself, you know what? He's right. At that time, and I had one of our students who was shadowing at that time, and he was like, all right, okay, that's interesting. You were demonstrating what in like a fair or something. And I was like, yeah, actually we were doing that because people just didn't know about it. They didn't know what it was, they didn't know what it was about. And I was explaining to him, I was like, back then we had to literally like grab people, pin them down and say, look, try this. Like, it's really good for you. And, people were interested in, people weren't interested in it. Literally like so many people just didn't want to know. And then when it came, we had Michael Phelps, I was on BBC News and, I started treating, Premier League football players and, started working with, Derek Chisora, one of our students started treating Anthony Joshua, and then boom. Yeah,
took off.
Everyone wants to know, but
I remember seeing Michael Phelps coming out for one of his heats or the swimming final, and the greatest swimmer of all time, and he had all the my son calls it pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
So whenever I get it, he goes, Dad, you look like a pepperoni pizza. But so and like the world seemed to be shocked, like what is that, and very curious.
But Muslims caught on, non-Muslims caught on, everyone caught on at that time. And I guess, it's the son of the Prophet ﷺ, he would go to people of influence, when he would give his, I believe that what we're doing in our clinics is a form of da'wah. Mm-hmm. We're helping Muslims and non-Muslims convert their ideology and their mindset in relation to health to one which is more aligned with an Islamic ethos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is how I feel. This is what I believe my work is and what we're doing. So it's not just about putting cups on people or providing treatment. This is changing people's belief systems and understandings in relation to their health. And as I said, the Prophet ﷺ, when he would go and make da'wah, he would go to, the leaders of the tribes. He would go to influential people. And this is ultimately the way that this has worked with hijama and with, the form of therapies and treatments that we're offering, is that, alhamdulillah, Allah's brought people to us who are influential people. They have millions of followers. I just came back from Belgium. I had to work with a footballer there. And each time we work with one of them, he's a Tanzanian national, the footballer that I worked with. He was the captain of the Tanzanian national team. And, straight away, as soon as we worked with him, then suddenly we had all this influx, like half of Tanzania starts following our pages, start messaging us and all of this other stuff. So, this is how it works. I've learned it. This is how it works. We work through people of influence, and obviously we provide them the service and things. But other people get to know that way. This is the way of spreading it. So, like I said, it's a little bit sad in the sense that it took that, but this is the natural way of things.
I mean, I think now if you look at society as a general, we often hear about impending obesity crisis, impending diabetes crisis, and health has become very much at the top of the agenda for people, because good health, bad health, is intrinsically linked to our quality of living, our quality of life. Those people who have very, who are struggling to live impacts their health because of the food choices they make, so on and so forth. And we've also, like you mentioned before, seen the popularity in intermittent fasting, which is something that the Prophet ﷺ used to do. So nowadays they call it the 5-2 intermittent fasting, which is, ironically, the same thing that Prophet ﷺ used to do, 2 days fasting a week and then 5 days not fasting. what are the benefits of intermittent fasting that you can share with our listeners?
Oh, interesting, actually. There's so much. It helps you regulate your blood sugars. It actually has such an impact on your hormones as well. A lot of the problems we have hormone disruptors. We have all of these different things that are in our environment which are affecting us in a negative way. But yeah, fasting has a great effect on that. It helps increase your growth hormone. So if you want gains, start fasting, right? So, increases your natural growth hormone, works on balancing your blood pressure. As I said, it helps you control your blood sugars, reduces down that kind of insulin resistance that you can have. You can actually, people have cured their own diabetes through fasting. Obviously, it needs to be done in the right way. Your body goes through a repair mode, so it goes what we class as kind of housekeeping. You go into a situation where your body goes into a way where it starts, your body's not focused on digestion. So when your body's not focused on digestion, it doesn't have to worry about kind of doing the tasks of that. Your body can then focus on other tasks.
Repairing.
And getting rid of dead cells, getting rid of waste from your body, eradicating, harmful things within your system. So it goes into this mode of what we call housekeeping. It starts repairing, tissues and starts recovering things. So yeah, this is a really, something, a sunnah, if we start implementing that, I get so many students saying to me, oh, because we have a process, like we offer training and courses and things like that, and we have students from all over the world that come and apply to us. And alhamdulillah, we've got to a point now where we have so many students that want to train with us that we don't just take anyone on. It's like, okay, we want to have the right quality of student. So one of the things that we do is we have an interview process and we have like an application process, and people who are interested in studying with us and learning what we teach, they go through that process. And one of the things that I find ironic is that every student, I say, okay, why do you want to study this? Oh, this is a sunnah, I want to revive a sunnah. It's like, okay, there's so many sunnahs. why choose this one?
Why this one?
You can grow a beard. You can go have whatever you want to do. Right?
Let's not go down the wife route, please, brother.
You can, there's so many sunnahs you can start going to, revive. You can start a miswak shop, whatever you want to do, right? So yeah, I want to understand kind of from a deeper perspective.
Can I just ask you a question, right? In your years as a healthcare professional, and specifically with our South Asian community, do you think we are too reactive when it comes to health and health management?
100%. That's a great point. Yeah, if you look at the statistics, right? What is it? I think 1 in 5 of us will, have, a stroke or cardiovascular incident. We are, I think, in the general population, 1 in 2 of us will suffer with cancer. We are much more likely to have diabetes. I think it was 5 times more likely to have diabetes. We're 5 more times. The statistics are all against us. So if you put all of these statistics together, you have to be very lucky not to be hit by one of these stats, right? And the answer is, actually, the key point is not lucky. You have to be very clever not to be one of these stats. So realistically, if the norm in our society is to be sick, is to be overweight, is to be, in our community, how many times do you hear someone's like in their 40s, 50s, at least by the time of 60s, you have had to have 1 stroke by that time, right? It's just like a norm. But, in other communities, that's not the case. Mm-hmm. So we are in a very, very bad predicament when it comes to these aspects. But unfortunately, what a lot of us don't realize, that it's actually within our control, and that we are choosing to stay in the boat. We could get up and say, okay, you know what? I don't want to be one of those statistics, so I'm going to do something different. So, if you think about that, if you think, look, if you want to be healthy, don't do what everyone else is doing. Simple as that. Okay? Change. Be different, right? Eat differently. I say to people, look, you first and foremost, okay, you've got this diagnosis, you've got this predicament you're in. Okay, I want to help you. First thing first, we need to change your diet. So I say, okay, we've got, you can't have this, can't have that. We need to change this. Say, doctor, what will I eat? It's like as if salan, roti, and rice are the only things that exist on the earth to consume.
Have you met my dad?
This is what I'm saying though. But we have to slap out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And what I've learned over the years, to be honest, as a practitioner, and someone that works with patients, is that I'm having to become more firmer and stricter and a little bit more kind of to the point when I'm dealing with people, as opposed to kind of being the nice, friendly doctor. Sometimes you have to say it as it is.
Tough love.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
Well, Akil just wrote, I can't do without acne on a Friday. Well, that's a different conversation completely. But no, I mean, I think, a lot of it is around mindset. So for me, mid 40s now, getting on, I still feel like in my mind I was, early 20s. And I think that's the thing. You kind of, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, you feel invincible almost in terms of, I can eat that, I won't put on weight, or I can, do this and I can survive on 3 hours sleep or whatever it is. But there comes a point where your body just says, stop, no, I'm done with that.
There's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He mentions that there are two things that people, waste. And the two things you should look after that people waste, okay? And that is your free time and your health, okay? And these two things are so interlinked, because when you're younger, you don't value your health, so you just take it for granted, and you don't value your free time either. Realistically, you're not really kind of planning and doing, a lot of people are not anyway. Now we're coming to the end of Ramadan, right? One of the purposes of Ramadan is to build routine, is to build habit. Okay, and we've been doing this, we're all into routine, waking up for Fajr, eating our sahur, praying our salah in the masjid, doing all of these different things, right? TV switched off, all the things which it's Ramadan, I'm not going to do that. I've even heard, believe it or not, right? I've even heard people, speak to them and say, okay, one of the questions we have, what's your relation, your marital situation? Are you married? Are you single? In a relationship, whatever it is, because it helps us have a holistic understanding of people. And believe me, I've had people come in and say, I'm in a relationship, but I've stopped for Ramadan. I paused it for Ramadan because it's not a halal relationship. So, I'll be in a relationship again after Ramadan. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? So, but look at this, right? If we are going to set, positive habits in our life, right, moving forward, we need to be planning for what we're aiming for in the future, right? So if you want good health in the future, if you are currently a mother with young children, if you want to be alive and healthy to help your daughter, when she has a child, if you want to be with your grandchildren and you want, you've got maybe children who are a bit older, you want to have grandchildren one day, or maybe whatever it is, maybe you want to go on Hajj, right? Whatever it is, like you're not just going to wake up one day and, you just be presented with great health and you just go out there. Just like everything else in your life.
It's an investment, isn't it? It really is.
And you need to plan. People plan financially. You have a financial plan and you say, okay, you want to do this. You need to start putting this much aside each month. You need to do this. You need to that. People understand that. But when it comes to your health, people don't get it. A lot of people, they just miss that point. So I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. There's I'm not sure where the saying comes from, but they say that, everyone has dreams, right? But, the sick person only has one.
To get better,
yeah. Because it's the foundation of everything you want to achieve. If you want to be anything, you want to achieve anything in your life, whatever it is, the underpinning pillar is your health.
Health is wealth, as they say.
Yeah. And if you're not setting aside time for that, so many people, not to mention any names, but I know many people, including yourself, who has said to me in the past, the thing is, I just don't have the time. Yeah. It's like, well, it's like,
you have to find that time.
For me, it's like, you're looking at someone who's running out of fuel in their car and they're saying to you, I don't have time to fuel up. Yeah. And it's like, they're on a long journey and they're like, I just need to get to my destination, but I don't have time to fuel up. It's like, mate, you're on empty. You're running on fumes. Who are you kidding? Exactly. You're not going to get to your destination. Okay, listen, we're running out of time. We've got 30 seconds left. But I think we're going to do a series of health shows next Ramadan, inshallah, with you, Dr. Rizwhan. So we're booking you from now. So make sure that when we come knocking next year for Ramadan, we're going to do a series of things. We're going to tackle a lot of these things that you've talked about. But listen, stay with us. We're doing a drive time farewell show. Because you came a bit late, we're going to keep you on for a bit. But we got going for a break in the next 10 seconds. This is Ramadan Radio 87.7 FM. It is the final drive time and the farewell Ramadan show combined together with me, Brother Irfhan. We're going to have some presenters talking to us afterwards and more from Dr. Rizwhan. So